Houston, make sure that the text that links back to your website is Houston Plumber or Plumbing in Houston or whatever. You also want to add value to the forum, because remember that when you're doing links, it's not only about search engine optimization, it's also about the possibility of getting traffic back to your website. So as long as you're getting traffic back to your website, the only way that's going to happen is if the information you're providing is valuable, useful to the forum, maybe a little unique. Paul says, make sure that you add value to the forum and submit something relevant to your business. In this case, relevant to plumbing would be, apropos. And then link back to your business. So that's what Paul said. Now, this was awesome. Darren comes back and he says, Paul, thanks for the in-depth advice. I now understand what you mean when you guys say you are world-class at what you do. Dude, that's awesome.
Darren, you are now my favorite podcast listener.
Absolutely. He says, and then he had one other question, and I'm going to read this. It's a little bit lengthy. And it goes, I'm a little bit confused by Google Analytics. Should you use your brand new profile for each page you have in your website, or is it better to set up goals to URL destinations? I have noticed when you add the same tracking code to another page to an existing domain, when you add that, the data is exactly the same. Know what I mean? And frankly, I'm missing something here, Darren. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. It sounds like maybe you haven't spent enough time on it. And here, what I figured I'd do is just explain how we use it. Of course, we have access to tons of websites, Google Analytics. So when I sign in to Google Analytics, I've got a whole slew of accounts. Those are accounts, the first ones that I see. So we've got our customer, Texas Orthopedic. That's one of their accounts. American Precious Metals, that's one of our accounts. So all of these accounts, and one of those accounts is actually all of the websites. We're partnered in a couple of different websites. So all of the websites that we use, follow, and are partnered with are in one account. So I click that one account, and up comes, in that case, patrickwanis.com. We're partners with them. eWebstyle, my wife's website, marisarte.com, marisaart.com. I
never figured that out. That's cool.
And so all of those, now those are actually profiles. So when you go into each one of those profiles, then you can see details about the traffic to individual pages. So I'm a little confused about your question. Hopefully that answers. I think the short answer when you say, should you use a brand new profile for each page on your website, the answer is no. One profile for all of the pages in your website is correct. And you do need to make sure that the Google Analytics code is on every page in your website. So we typically design a website so that there's a header page and a footer page, and it's consistent throughout. We've talked about website consistency and the value of that for your searchers, for your visitors. And then we'll just add the Google Analytics code into the footer or the header or something along those lines. And so hopefully, Darren, that answered your question. If not, hit us back and we'll get clarified it just a little bit more, and we'll get a better answer for you.
Well, good question, Darren. But I had a couple great questions. Another piece of fan mail from southwest of Western Australia from John Reynolds at johnreynoldsmedia.com.
That's the Pacific, right?
That's what I thought it was. He was like, southwest of Western Australia would be the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So he's broadcasting his pirate signal from a boat. So what's up, John? John had a question. He says,
by the way, Western, there's like areas like New South Wales is a part. Western Australia may be a province.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Like its own?
Like a province, like a state.
Like its own.
Western Australia.
Oh.
That's a possibility.
Oh,
so
okay.
Then southwest of Western Australia kind of makes sense.
Because that way I look stupid.
Well,
so I hope that's not true.
It's either you or me, damn it. What's he talking about? Western Australia is a state. Is there a state called Western America?
Well, yeah, I guess you're right, because there's South Africa.
Yeah,
is a country.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I never said I was a geography whiz. Okay. So,
John never said he was a whiz.
I never did say I was a whiz. There we go. John, he says, okay, Google openly admits that there are around 200 signals that they look for when ranking a website. Yet we only hear about 3 of them: content, keywords, and links. So what are the 197?
I mean, this is worth repeating because this is such a great question. Google does talk about having over 200 triggers for their algorithm, and we talk about content. What are they? Content, links, and we talk about it so much we don't.
Content, keywords, and links.
Content, keywords, and links. So what are the other 197? What a great question, right?
Who cares?
Yeah.
No.
You think you need to know that? Look,
all you need to know is what we tell you. That's right. But
yeah, if only it were that simple.
Yeah.
So we spent some time. We did some research. We made a couple calls and found some answers to this. Now this is really some.
Thanks, John. First of all, you put us to work.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
And
we found a Bible.
Yes, just full of SEO, different SEO
it's
things.
Like 60 pages or something.
And this is something we found from. We did not write this. We found this from SEO Moz, SEOMOZ.org. SEO Moz.
If you get on there and you search, if you get on SEO Moz, the URL again is really long. If you get on SEOMoz.org and you search for search ranking factors, I'm sure you'll come up with this. The title of the article is Search Engine Ranking Factors Version 3.
Version 3. Here, y'all can take a look at it.
Yeah, there you can see it.
So this is where we found. So what we found is that they gave us like maybe 10 or 12 categories of factors. No, maybe 10 categories of factors, 8 to 10. And then if you click into one of those factors, then they give you a list of 10 to 20 actual techniques that you could use. And we'll start. We may not get through all of these today, but here's the first category.
When you say may,
yeah.
I think what you mean to say is there's no way in hell.
There's not a chance that we could cover all of this information.
This is going to go into the new year.
There you go.
This is going to take a year.
This one, just the first one that I'm looking at. God dang. Okay, it's 24 points to it. The first category that we're going to cover is on-page, keyword-specific ranking factors.
Before we get started, this is exciting. I did want to talk about, we just got some stuff up for one of our clients. So let's talk about that real quick. We mentioned quite a while ago in a podcast that we were going to start work on TOSM.org.
Yes.
And the first thing that we were going to do is make changes to the website. One of the things we needed to do is add content. And really, this is a good example. We still have more work to do, by the way, but we're at a point now where we're able to start search engine optimization. So we're talking about 2 months of preparation, and a big part of that is this is an orthopedic surgery center. Mm-hmm. We are not orthopedic people at all, right? And orthopedic surgeons are pretty busy. In fact, the whole office is incredibly busy. So it took us most of this time just to get the content. And actually, frankly, Paul went out, met with one of the representatives over there, compiled as much information as he could, and he wrote the content. That's what we're willing to do for our SEO customers. And this resulted in the new first page. So if you go to TOSM.org, you're going to see a website that now talks about, let's take a step back.
Yeah.
Go to TOSM.org/indexold.asp. And that's the old index page. And what you'll see on that old index page, for those of you guys looking at the video, you'll see just an image of, it's 2 of the doctors, and if you really look at it, all it looks like is, okay, they got 2 doctors and they've written some article, and, I don't know what these guys do. I don't know what